This week, we looked at how experts differ from novices, and one of the ways that we learned about was how experts develop patterns, or that experts develop patterns. They can look at things and put the information that they have learned into a set pattern so that they can solve the problem. DeGroot came up with the think aloud method as part of under the patterns of information, and in doing so, you can think about when someone is going over notes, they're sitting there, instead of just reading it aloud, they are actually going over that, and that kind of will help someone learn, because you're hearing yourself talk, and therefore that pattern of information is going into your brain. They gave an example of chess, how experts can look at the chessboard and how their chess pieces are set up, and the expert will actually come up with ways that their opponents will move, and therefore what moves they can do in order to counteract their opponent. They also say that math experts kind of do that. They put their formula in a pattern, which, math to me is all about formulas and patterns. Then there's the organization of knowledge. Experts can organize their knowledge in different ways, and that way they can understand the problem a little bit better, and they it says experts usually mentioned the major principles or laws that were applicable to a problem. They rationalize through the problem in order to solve the problem that they are having. Some of the other stuff that we looked at were the content and access to knowledge, and we were told it is given students problems and kind of possibly letting them look at it in different ways. It's a great way for students to open up their minds to solve the problem. Then you've got fluent retrieval, and you can think of this as a way for experts to perform tasks faster than a novice, which that's going to happen over time. I also think of people doing things over again. You're learning from your mistakes, so to speak. You are going to continue doing this until you learn a better way of doing it. When we think about the adaptive expertise, one of the things that we can think about in that would be you would have one expert doing something one way, and then you have another expert doing something a different way. There's other ways to look at the approach of doing things. You're not just set in one way of doing it. We discussed a lot of different things on how a novice could become an expert. And it's kind of hard to teach somebody exactly how you can do it, but throughout this reading, I felt like the novice is going to have to go back and kind of look at everything. If they're looking at a problem, they're going to have to look at it really close, just like experts do. They look at the problem really close to figure out the best way to solve that problem.